Howdy, I'm Gabby the Clown, and today I'm going to be talking about gay ships in Undertale and Deltarune. If you've been on the internet for a while, or you saw my My Little Pony video, then you probably already know what shipping is. But in case you don't, shipping is basically where you take two characters that you think would be interesting together in a romantic way, and you smack them together and just kind of see where it goes. It doesn't really matter how much actual chemistry they have in the source material. Sometimes it can literally just be like, I think this character's hot, and I think this character's hot, and I want them to kiss. And in Undertale and Deltarune especially, shipping is really big. There's so many. I'm not going to be talking about literally everyone today, because again, there are so many, and I've probably missed somebody's favorites. I've probably missed one or two. So if I've missed your favorite gay Undertale or Deltarune ship, please let me know down below, and I'll say where I would put it on the tier list. Alright. Spoilers for Undertale and all the chapters of Deltarune, obviously. And let's just jump right into it. Okie dokie, let me get out my fancy tier list chalkboard. If you've never seen a ranking video before, you might be confused by what all these letters mean. Alright, so first of all, S tier is the best. Really gets my heart pounding. I love it. I am super passionate about it. I would die for it. Not literally, but you know what I mean. A tier is also really good. I love it. I'm just not quite as passionate about it as I am about the ones in S tier. But still, I really love them. B tier is for the ones that I think are cute, I just don't really have any strong feelings about. I could go either way on. Usually these will be ones, where there's not really a lot in the source material, it's just kind of vibes. C tier is for ones that I have even less of an opinion on. Usually don't really have, a lot to say about, but yeah. And then D tier is for the ones that I dislike. I either don't really care about them at all, or I just don't like them even a little bit. Normally there's an F tier for the things that you, actually, hate. But there aren't really any that I, would say that I hate, so no F tier, because it would just be empty. Oh, also, since Undertale and Deltarune have a lot of overlap with the characters, some of these pairings will have separate squares for their Undertale versions and their Deltarune versions, but not all of them. I'm only doing separate squares if, my opinion changes on them depending on which game they're in. Alright, let's just start with them first. So, Bratty and Catty in Undertale. Bratty and Catty in Undertale are a shop you can find right outside of Mediton's resort. They're really cute. They're best friends, and they talk like Valley girls. It's really cute. They finish each other's sentences. They seem to really be on the same wavelength. They have very similar opinions to each other. They like messing around together. It's really cute. And I like them as a couple. My feelings on them aren't super strong though, so I'm gonna put them in B tier. Alright, and now I'm going to be talking about Bratty and Catty in Deltarune. And I think their relationship is the most drastically different out of any of the crossover characters. So in Deltarune, they do still have similar opinions to each other, and they're very similar people, but they absolutely hate each other. But at the same time, it's very obvious, at least to me, that they're just being tsundere, which like basically just means like they like pretend to hate each other, or like they pretend not to care because they don't want to like admit that they have like feelings for each other. At least that's how I read them, because like in chapter 4, I believe, there's like, if you talk to one of them, they'll be like, I can't believe that like we went to the same like restaurant as each other and like we got the same thing. Gosh, she's so stupid, and I hate her stupid face. And it's like, just kiss, dude. Like, what are we doing? like I'm not usually like a fan of rivals to lovers. Like, I prefer like things to just kind of be like cute, you know? But this one, I think it's really fun. I really enjoy it. And it's going to go in A tier actually, because I think like I just have more fun with it. It's also just kind of funny. Alright, so now that we kind of have all the rules established and we have like, we kind of know where it's going, I'm gonna go pick a random one. Alright. Papyrus and Rules card. Now, I don't know if anyone else ships this, but this is one that I made up, actually. I have no clue if anyone else has thought of this yet, but hear me out. I think it would be really cute, and I think it'd be really funny, because in my mind, I feel like Papyrus and Rules are, like, fairly similar people, but, like, Rules is kind of, like, evil Papyrus, except, like, not, like, evil, I guess. Like, Papyrus is, like, very silly, and, like, he loves puzzles, and he wants to, like, get respect, he wants, like, a position of power to get popularity, but he can get better, and he, like, actually, like, makes friends. Whereas Rules, is kind of similar. He's a silly guy who loves puzzles, and wants, like, to move up in the world and get power, and respect and stuff. But he's kind of just, like, the universe's punching bag. Like, everybody makes fun of him, and, like, nobody takes him seriously. Yeah, I think they would get along really well. And even if not in a romantic way, I think they would at least be really good friends. And I just really want to see them interact. And I think it would be cute, and I think Papyrus would be good for Rules. I don't know, I think they would have, like, very high opinions of each other. I think they would do puzzles together, and I think it would be really cute. So, I'm probably biased because this is my creation, but it's going in S tier because I think it's really cute, and I think it'd be really freaking funny. And yeah. Alright, so next up is the Nice Cream Guy and Burger Pants / Pizza Pants. Now, this is one that's been around since the Undertale days. But it was never implied in Undertale. People just, like, saw, like, two shopkeepers and were like, cool. What if they kissed? And it just kind of exploded from there, from my understanding. Like, it's pretty popular. I'm basing what I think, how popular I think something is, just based off how much fan art I've seen. And I've seen a lot of fan art of these guys. People love them. But then in Deltarune, like, there actually is, like, some implication that at least Nice Cream Guy has a crush on, Burger Pants, or Pizza Pants, or whatever his real name is. I'm gonna call him Greg. So yeah, in Deltarune, there is actually some implication that, Nice Cream Guy actually, like, might have a thing for Greg. But I don't think Greg feels the same way. Or at least not, like, currently. So, I could have, like, been completely misunderstanding what's going on in Chapter 4, but from what I, like, can tell, Bratty, the crocodile girl, wanted to, like, basically catfish Greg, so she asked an ice cream guy to help her do it, but an ice cream guy actually, like, started to, like, develop feelings for Greg, but he can't really do anything, because Greg thinks that he's, like, a hot chick, and then, like, in Chapter 4, you can, like, see, like, Greg getting ready for, like, a date with, his online girlfriend, and he's, like, super excited, and he's like, she's busting out the vintage memes, this is excellent, and then, like, if you walk back, you can see an ice cream guy just kind of, like, standing there sadly, like, well, as long as he's happy, right? And it's like, man. Yeah, I have no idea where this is gonna go, but it's been really interesting to see so far, and yeah, I think it's very interesting. I think it could be cute, like, either way, but I don't have very strong feelings on it. It's like Squidward and SpongeBob, basically, in Undertale, at least. I don't have super strong feelings on it, but I think it's interesting, so I'm gonna put it in B tier. Alright, time to pick out another one. Ooh, this is actually one that was suggested to me by one of my online buddies. This is Toriel and the Snowden shopkeeper, that, like, that hot purple bunny lady. Yeah. I don't really have, like, a strong opinion on it, because I never even, like, considered it until, like, they mentioned, oh yeah, this is, like, a ship that I really like. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. I started thinking about it, like, how it would work in Undertale. Like, it could be, like, Toriel, like, goes out for supplies sometimes, and, like, goes to her store, and then, like, they, like, strike up conversations, and, like, all that jazz. But then, like, in Deltarune, where, the bunny lady, like, runs the diner that Toriel and her family would go to every day after church, and, Bunny Lady, I'm gonna call her Bonnie, so Bonnie, like, has, like, a lot of dialogue about, the Dreamer family, and, like, kind of, like, missing how they would, like, come in every Sunday, since, like, Toriel and Asgore got divorced, like, they don't come in as much anymore, and she seems, like, kind of nostalgic for that time, too. Maybe I'm just, like, reading too much into it. Anyway, they were definitely, like, really close friends. I'm not sure. I think it could be cute, but I don't have, like, super strong feelings on it. I could go either way. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. Alrighty. Let's pick another one. Ooh, here's a really popular one. Alphys and Undyne. Specifically their Undertale versions. This is probably like one of the most popular ships in any like Toby Fox game. And I really, really like it. It's super cute. Like Alphys introducing Undyne to anime, and then like Undyne getting like so into it that she like genuinely thinks this is like accurate, like how humans are. It's really funny. And then like in Undyne's house, she like keeps soda in her house, and like if you like interact with it, Undyne will say, "Oh yeah, I hate soda, but my friend Alphys really loves it, so I keep it in stock." And it's like, "Aw," and it's just really cute. Like, they obviously think very highly of each other, And then, like, when you meet Alphys, like, a few minutes in, like, it gets interrupted by Mettaton and you have to do a quiz show. And the last question is, who does Alphys have a crush on? And while all the answers, like, end up kind of being, like, correct, Undyne is, like, the one that'll make Alphys, like, get the most, like, flustered. And it's like, Alphys has Undyne's name as, like, passwords and stuff. And it's really cute. And then, like, once you leave Alphys's place, you start getting, like, little notifications from her social media, and, like, some of them are like, oh wow, I can't wait to see, the Undyne fight. I didn't watch it while it was happening, but I'm sure she did really good, because she's the best. And it's like, oh. And then, if you want to get, the pacifist ending, you have to, like, go check on Undyne, and she's like, hey, punk, I got a letter for you to deliver. And she's like, don't open it. And if you do, I'll punch you. And it's like a love letter to Alphys. So you deliver the letter, and Alphys doesn't know who it's from, because Undyne forgot to sign her name. So, like, you deliver the letter, and Alphys is like, wow, this is a beautiful letter. And then she, like, gets confused and thinks that, like, the player wrote it. And she's like, wow, okay. I guess I can go on a date with you, I guess. And she, like, gets all dressed up, and it's very cute. And then on the date, like, it's very obvious that she wanted to go on a date with Undyne, because, like, she has all these gifts that she, like, had prepared in case she ever got asked out on a date. And they're all Undyne related, like, polish for her armor, and, like, stuff for her spears, and, like, stuff for her scales, and it's, like, it's so cute. And then, like, on the date, like, Alphys, like, finally, like, ends up admitting, like, hey, this is really awkward, but I actually really want to ask out Undyne. Can you, like, help me, like, work up the courage to ask her out? So then you, like, help her, like, work up her confidence, either by pretending to be her and, like, faking a conversation, or, like, pretending to be Undyne and faking a conversation. But then eventually Undyne interrupts, and she's like, what's going on? And it sort of ends up, like, escalating to, like, Alphys confessing, like, Undyne, I think you're, like, the coolest, and, I really want to ask you out, and I want to be your girlfriend. And then Undyne, like, basically, like, encourages Alphys, like, you're cool too, and you can be a good person if you want to be. Because Alphys was like, oh, I can't be with you, because there's so many things I keep hidden, and I'm just the worst. And Undyne's like, stop talking like that, you're awesome. You need to start thinking better of yourself. And then she, like, calls Papyrus to, like, basically, like, help Alphys, like, feel better about herself, because, Papyrus is, like, a beacon of, like, pure positivity and, like, encouragement and stuff. Overall, they're just, like, really cute. They're very clearly, like, very in love. And they have, like, a dynamic that I really like in couples, where it's, like, the big strong one, and then, like, the small, like, anxious one. It's just a dynamic that I personally, like, really find cute, and I think I'm going to put it at the top of A tier. The only reason it's not an S tier is because I don't feel quite as passionate about it as I do with, like, all the other ones in S. Like, all the other ones in S, like, are ones that I, like, will obsess over, like, think about constantly. A tier is just for ones that I also really, really like, but don't occupy, like, a part of my brain 24/7. So yeah, let's see what we got next. I'll pick one of you. Ooh! Oh, this was a really popular one back in the day. At least if the fan art's anything to go by. Grillby and Sans. So, this one's a little tricky because in Undertale, we don't really get, like, a full grasp of Grillby's personality. Like, he seems to just kind of be, like, a very quiet person, but we don't really get, like, a ton from him, because he doesn't say anything until, like, the end of the game, where he says, like, good job or something, after you, like, free them all from the underground. Fan just came on. Whatever. So yeah, this one is very much, you really have to rely on, like, fan fiction and, like, your own kind of, like, interpretation of Grillby's character. That being said, the fan art I've seen is really cute. And, like, I've seen, like, a lot of comics where, like, Sans goes to Grillby's all the time, but it's not like for the food or anything, he just really likes Grillby. And I think that's freaking cute. I think that's adorable. I don't know how in character that is for Sans, but I think it's cute, so I don't really care. Yeah. I don't have a ton to say, since there's not really a ton to talk about outside of, like, they look good together, and there's a lot of potential. I think it's very, like, an interesting idea, and I like the things that I've seen people do with it, but there's not really a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna put it in B. Okie dokie. Let's see what we got next. Alright, ooh. Okay, I'm a little scared to talk about this one, because from what I've seen, this one's really popular, or at least it was at some point really popular. And it's Mettaton and Papyrus. I've never understood this one. I'm gonna be so honest. Like, I really don't get it. I mean, I kinda get it. Like, from, like, a meta perspective, like, oh, they're, like, they're two tall people, and Papyrus mentions that he watches Mettaton's show, and yes. I'm sorry, I like the fan art, it's very cute. I don't see it. Like, it feels like it's just based off of the fact that, like, Papyrus mentions that he likes Mettaton's show, and that, like, he has, like, some Mettaton figurines, and that, like, he admires Mettaton. Like, maybe if, like, he and Mettaton ever interacted, I could get into it, but, like, I can't really see it beyond, like, but you have to understand, like, in Undertale, like, Mettaton is, like, the only celebrity. Like, he is the only, like, entertainer. He's the only, like, famous, like, entertainer person. Everyone in the underground, like, likes his show and watches his show, and, like, has, like, a celebrity crush on him, or at least, like, thinks highly of him or admires him. Like, Papyrus isn't, like, special in that regard. He doesn't, like, seem, like, more, like, infatuated with Mettaton than anyone else. Like, he seems, like, kind of just, like, how everybody feels about Mettaton. Maybe, like, I missed some dialogue or something, or maybe I'm, like, not remembering it. But, like, they never interact, and, like, all of Papyrus's dialogue about Mettaton is kind of just, like, oh, yes, he's so cool, I want to be just like him, or whatever. And, like, that's cool. It doesn't feel romantic to me. I don't get romantic vibes from it. Like, just me personally. Like, maybe if they interacted, then I could, like, enjoy it, but I don't know. The fan art's really cool. People in this community are, like, really freaking talented. I just don't really care about this one at all. I don't particularly like it. I just, it's fine, I guess. It's not offensive. It's just meh. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in D tier. I'm sorry. I don't care for it. So yeah, moving on from that, let's see what I've got next. Let me pull. Ooh! Next one is, Caddy with an I, and Noelle. So Caddy with an I is the other Caddy's younger sister, who only exists in Deltarune as far as I know. And she's like the, like, goth, kinda like really into like the occult and like witchy stuff and like magic. And she's like, from what I can tell anyway, she's like Noelle's best friend, or like a really close to her at least. And she seems to be like one of like the few people in Noelle's life who doesn't need anything from her, like, and doesn't really like expect her to do things for her. Like, Noelle's mom like has like really high expectations for her, at least as far as we can tell, and is extremely strict. Noelle's other friend, Birdly, like, needs Noelle to like help him with homework, and like she seems to just kind of be like, she seems to be very used to like being the one to like have to help. But Caddy doesn't really seem to ever need anything from her. Like they just kind of hang out. And Caddy thinks extremely highly of Noelle, to the point where like she's like very protective of her. So when she like notices like Noelle having a crush on Susie, who's like the bully, she's like, hey player, hey Chris, like, keep Noelle safe, okay? Keep Noelle from the darkness. And then like in chapter 4, if you interact with Caddy while you're with Susie, Caddy will be like, why are you with her? Why are you with the darkness? And Susie's like, what are you talking about? And Caddy's like, whatever, Chris, as long as you keep the darkness away from the light, Noelle. And Susie's like, hey, Noelle can hang out with whoever she wants. And then you like can like agree with her, and then Caddy will get like very upset and be like, Chris, you've made an enemy on this day. So a lot of people think that Caddy like has a crush on Noelle, and that's why she's like so protective of her and gets like kind of annoyed by Susie. Yeah, I think there is potential there. Yeah, I kind of agree that like she might have a crush on Noelle, and that's kind of like why she's like acts the way she does about her. I think it makes sense, but I don't think that Noelle would reciprocate, because Noelle is very much focused on Susie, and Susie seems to be like returning those feelings, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, I don't think Noelle would give up on Susie to date Caddy. I think it's interesting. I think it could be cute, but I don't really ship it. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. Let's see what I've got next. Ooh. Alphys and Toriel. So this one has like some minor evidence, but it's kind of like Caddy and Noelle, where like it's more so like there's some evidence for like Alphys having a mild crush on Toriel. In like Deltarune specifically, in chapter 2, you can like eavesdrop on a conversation between them, and then Toriel will say something like, "You are doing so well, Alphys, I am always cheering you on." And Alphys will get like really flustered, like, "Oh, wow, thank you." And that's kind of cute. I don't think that Toriel would have a crush on Alphys, though. I don't know if this is a hot take. Toriel feels very straight to me. I don't know if that's like a hot take, but I don't know. But yeah, I think it, like, makes sense for Alphys to kind of have a crush on Toriel. Cause, like, I don't remember if it's true in, like, Deltarune, but in Undertale, it's, like, basically confirmed that, like, she had a crush on Asgore, who's basically just male Toriel, at least in appearance. And then, like, at the end of Undertale, basically, she says something like, yeah, at some point you have to stop chasing, hot boss monsters and go after a really cute fish. So, like, I think it's, like, kind of interesting for, like, Toriel in Deltarune to be, like, how Asgore was in, Undertale, where, like, they're, like, kind of, like, the middle ground crush, if that makes sense. Cause, like, in Deltarune, like, it's kind of obvious that, like, at least to me anyway, that, like, Alphys and Undyne are gonna get together again. But, like, in the meantime, Alphys, like, kind of has, like, another crush that she'll, like, eventually, like, let go of. And yeah, I think it's very interesting. I don't personally ship it. I think it could be cute. But I don't really... It's fine. I think that Alphys does have a crush on Toriel in Deltarune, but I don't think it's, like, super strong. I think it's more so like, oh, this lady's really hot, and that's kind of, like, the end of it. I could be wrong, though. But yeah. All that being said, I'm thinking, like, B or C. I'll see how I feel when I, like, put the whole board together. But yeah, it's fine. Alrighty. Ooh. So this is, like, another, like, background one, kind of like, Burger Pants and Pizza Pants, and an ice cream guy. I'd say it's even more in the background, though. It's this green fire girl and this purple thing, this purple girl. If they have names, I don't know them, so I'm just gonna give them names. The green fire girl will be Jade, and the purple girl will be, Barb. And you can see them in Undertale, outside of a puzzle room in Hotland, and they're, like, in, like Japanese school uniforms. And when you interact with them, Barb is like, wow, there's a puzzle in the way, so we can't go to school, even though it's summer vacation. That's still pretty, like, cool or whatever. So she's, like, the delinquent type, and she's got, like, a skateboard and, like, a baseball hat, so you know she means business. And then Jade, like, kind of has, like, similar opinion, like, oh wow, we don't have to go to school today, that's pretty awesome, even though it's summer vacation or whatever. And then, like, that's kind of it. That's kind of all you see from them, at least from my memory. But then in Deltarune, you can see them, like, at the diner together, like, sitting together, and it's really cute. They're, like, sharing a booth, and then you can, like, talk to them about, like, hear them, like, talking to each other. There's, like, zero content of these two, but I don't really care. I think they look really cute together. This is one of those ones I was talking about earlier where, like, some of them are kind of just based on vibes, and I like the vibes of this one. I like the vibes of these two. I also just really like their designs. All that being said, the lack of content, like, it makes it hard to put it super high. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. Okay. Alright, next one. Ooh, so this is one that I find absolutely hilarious, and I just kind of, like, love it. And it's Chris and Birdly. Now, I think this one kind of started off as a joke, but, like, it's kind of, like, snowballed into, like, actually, like, being, like, a real ship. And there's two ways that it goes, usually. So, a little lore. So Chris is, like, our player character in Deltarune. And, like, in universe, we're controlling them, by using their soul. And, like, Chris is, like, very much not happy about being controlled, obviously, because, like, Chris, like, isn't just, like, an empty vessel for us to, like, control and play around with. They're, like, their own person. And they have, like, their own history and their own personality and everything. So there's two ways that this usually goes. It's usually either depicted as the player, like, torturing Chris by, like, making them date Berdly, or it's Chris, like, reasserting their agency and, like, mocking the player, like, hey, I'm gonna date this character you don't like, F you, I'm in charge. And either way, Berdly's usually just, like, into it, like, yes, my gamer, girl then, my gamer they friend, excellent. And it's so funny either way. I personally prefer, it being, like, Chris's decision, and, like, the like, player, like, being like, no, please, anyone but Berdly. And then Chris basically just, like, putting a middle finger to the screen, like, no, I want to date the stupid bird. I want to date, like, the nerd bird, leave me alone. You can't tell me what to do. And it's just really funny, but also cute. Because I've seen so many, like, really funny comics, and, like, just, like, art in general. Like, there's this, like, one piece I saw, that was really cute, and it was like Chris and Berdly in, like, Player 1 and Player 2 t-shirts, like, holding hands, and it was just really cute, and, like, within the games, Berdly has, like, kind of, like, a one-sided rivalry with Chris, like, but at the same time, like, he clearly, like, likes Chris. Maybe not like, you know what I mean, but, like, he enjoys Chris's company, but he has his persona won't allow him to admit it without being, like, kind of a dork about it. And then in Chapter 4, Berdly, like, calls Noelle to ask her to the festival, and, like, Noelle's about to agree, like, hesitantly, because she's a people pleaser and she doesn't want to upset anyone. But then, like, Susie, like, snatches the phone and, like, screams at Berdly, hey, she's not going with you, and then she, like, throws the phone away. And then after that, you have the option to pick up the phone, and then if you do, Berdly will, like, be like, I suppose I will grant you, this generosity, and invite you to be my date to the festival instead. And it's like, and then if you agree, he'll be like, aha, not so fast, Chris. You will have to compete with Susie and Noelle to, like, see who will be, my player 2. And he's such a dork. I love Berdly. I know a lot of people don't like him. I think he's hilarious, and I love him very much. And I love him with Chris, because I think it's very funny. And I think it actually is, like, also, like, really cute. I don't know. I know, like, a lot of people don't like this, or, like, only like it as, like, a joke. I think that it would be very cute and also funny. So you know what? I had it in A tier, when I made the board, but screw it. I'm putting it in S now. I talked myself into it. It's S tier. I love it so much. Well, that's the end of the first part. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry that it took so long. Last week I got sick, and then I had work, and then it was my birthday, and then I had work again, and I just kind of ran out of time. So I hope this first part was worth the wait. Next week, I'll be doing the second part, finishing up the rest of the ships. So yeah, I look forward to that. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and leave a comment if you have anything to say. I hope you have a good day, night, or whatever time it is where you are. Cheers!